Good morning, all. In the last videos, we have discussed how the pressure and temperature changes the phase of a substance. So, by changing the pressure and temperature, we can change the interparticular space as well as force of attraction between the particles, so that gas can be converted to liquid, liquid can be converted to solid, and vice versa. So that's why pressure and temperature concept is very essential for you. Okay. So now we'll first discuss what is pressure. What is pressure? Now you see, you take a container. Suppose you take a glass. Inside the glass you keep some water. Inside the glass you keep some water. Let's say the water of height is now h, and the below surface area is, let us say, a. So now we know the particles always moves with different velocities. Okay. So now these water particle will strike with different velocity to the wall of the container. So now let us say the particle of the water will strike the wall as well as base of the container. Now let's say the force exerted, let's say the force exerted by liquid on surface area of A. Okay. So force exerted by liquid on surface area of A is equal to F. So for A area, the force exerted by the gas molecule or liquid molecule or by any substance is, say, F. Now force for unit area, what is the force? The force is equal to F by A. So this F by A is called pressure. This F by A is called pressure. Then how will you define pressure? So pressure is nothing but it is the force exerted per unit surface area. So this is the definition of pressure. Pressure is the force exerted per unit surface area. Okay. So what is the unit of pressure? What is the unit of pressure? So in SI system, we know the pressure is equal to force by area. So pressure is equal to force by area. So in SI system, the unit of force is equal to Newton, and area unit is meter square. So this Newton per meter square is called Pascal, and in short form it is written as PA. So the unit of pressure in SI system is equal to Pascal. If it will be asked what is the unit of pressure in CGS system, so now pressure is equal to force by area. In CGS system, force is equal to, unit of force is equal to dyne, unit of area is equal to centimeter square. So this is the unit of pressure in CGS system. Okay. So there is another unit, it is called bar. It is called bar. Okay. So now we will define how the pressure depends upon the height of this liquid column or height of the substance. Suppose we will keep gas in this container of height h. So that gas will exert force on the base. So what is the pressure and what is the formula of pressure relating to the height of the liquid column? So expression of the pressure. Now take a container. Suppose this is a container or glass. Inside the glass, I have kept a liquid whose density is rho. Density of liquid, you know, it is mass per unit volume. So density of liquid is rho, and the height of this liquid column, this height of the liquid column is equal to, say, h. And this surface area, the bottom surface area is equal to A. And G is the acceleration due to gravity. So now we will find what is the weight of the total liquid inside this container. So weight of liquid is equal to, so what is weight? Weight is nothing but mass into acceleration due to gravity. So weight is nothing but force. Weight is nothing but force. So our weight is generally taken as W. So this W is equal to mg. M is mass of the liquid. G is the acceleration due to gravity. This is the weight of the liquid. Okay. Now you know density. What is density? It is mass by volume, or we can say mass is equal to density into volume. So now the weight of liquid column, which is nothing but force exerted by the liquid column on the surface. Now see, so what is the force exerted by the liquid on the surface of this bottom surface of the container? So that force is nothing but weight of the liquid column. And we know weight is equal to mg. You know weight is equal to mg. And in place of m, I can write it is rho into v into g. So that is equal to rho. What is volume? Volume is equal to, what is the volume of the liquid column? So the area of the container is A, height is h. Then what is the volume of the liquid column? A into h. So volume is equal to area into height, so into g. So this is the force exerted on the bottom surface having having a surface area. Then what is pressure? So pressure exerted by the liquid column, I can write in this term, pressure exerted by liquid column is equal to P is nothing but force by area. Force is this is the force rho h g divided by a cancel. So that implied pressure is equal to rho gh. Pressure is equal to, see, a cancel, so rho gh is the pressure exerted by the liquid column. So you have to remember this is the formula of the pressure exerted by a liquid or gas or any solid substance. So pressure is nothing but rho gh. What is rho? Rho is density of the liquid. G is acceleration due to gravity. H is the height of the liquid column. Okay. Now what is atmospheric pressure? Now see, this is the surface of Earth. We assume Earth is spherical in nature. Surrounding to the Earth, there is a gas envelope. That means surrounding to the Earth, lot of gas are exerting pressure on the surface. And this gas is nothing but the combination of nitrogen, oxygen, helium, hydrogen, etc. The percentage of nitrogen is maximum in this gas envelope. Now this total gas surrounding to the surface of Earth will exert the pressure, and that pressure is nothing but atmospheric pressure. So it is the pressure exerted by atmospheric gas on surface of Earth. Now what is the value of this atmospheric pressure? We can say the one atmospheric pressure is equal to pressure exerted by 76 centimeter of mercury column. 76 centimeter of mercury column. Now see, suppose you take a tube, and inside this tube you keep some mercury liquid, okay, and the height of the mercury liquid column is say 76 centimeter, and density of the mercury it is 13.6 gram per centimeter cube or cubic centimeter. So this is the density of mercury. Density is nothing but mass by volume. Mass is gram, volume is cubic centimeter. So density of mercury is 13.6 gram per cc. The height of the mercury column is 76 centimeter. Then the pressure exerted by this height of the mercury column on the base of the tube is equal to 1 atmospheric pressure. So I can say the 1 atmospheric pressure, we know it is rho gh. So rho is density of mercury, that is 13.6 gram per cubic centimeter. G is 981 centimeter per second square into H is equal to what? 76 centimeter. So now this is our 1 atmospheric pressure. So if we calculate if we will calculate the 1 atmospheric pressure value will give 101396.6, and we have already taken every parameter in a CGS system. So what is the unit of pressure in CGS system? It is dyne per centimeter square. And you know 1 dyne is equal to 10 to the power minus 5 Newton, and 1 centimeter square is equal to 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. So in place of dyne and centimeter square, you put 10 to the power minus 5 by 10 to the power minus 4, then we will calculate the 1 atmospheric pressure is equal to 1.01 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per meter square. Newton per meter square is nothing but Pascal. So you have to remember the 1 atmospheric pressure is equal to 1.01 into 10 to the power 5 Pascal. So this is the atmospheric pressure. So I have told the another unit of pressure is bar. I have told the another unit of pressure is equal to bar. Then what is bar? 1 bar, I can say the value of 1 bar. You have to remember all these things for your problem solving. 1 bar is equal to 0.987 atmospheric pressure, and 1 atmospheric pressure is equal to 1.01 10 to the power 5 Pascal. Okay, so this is about the pressure, concept of pressure. Next is concept of temperature. What do you mean by temperature? So suppose a body is cool, a body is cold, a body is hot. How can you sense? By measuring its temperature. So from the temperature we can say which body is hot, which body is cold. Or you can say temperature measures the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. So this is the definition of temperature. So if the temperature is more, the body is a hot body. If the temperature is less, it is called cold body. Or another definition, you see, suppose this is a body A, this is another body B. The temperature of body A is TA, temperature of body is TB, and temperature of A is greater than temperature of B. So if you will made a contact between these two bodies, what will happen? We will observe the heat energy will flow from body A to body B. That means heat energy always flows from body at higher temperature to body at lower temperature. So when two bodies with different temperature are made contact with each other, one body loses heat, another body gains heat. Okay, and for equilibrium condition, the loss of heat is equal to gain of the heat. Okay, so now heat always flows from body at higher temperature to body at lower temperature. So we can say the another definition: temperature is that quantity. Temperature is that quantity which determines the flow of heat energy. Okay, if a body loses heat, its temperature falls. If a body gains heat, its temperature rises. So this is the definition of temperature. Then what are the various unit of temperature? What are the various unit of temperature? So the unit of temperature is taken to be Celsius scale, or you can say centigrade. So the unit of temperature is centigrade, or we can say Kelvin, or another unit is our Fahrenheit. So these are the three units of temperature. Now if we will write the boiling point and melting point of water, boiling point of and melting point of what? Water. It is we know the boiling point of water is 100 degrees centigrade and melting point of water is 0 degree centigrade. Similarly, boiling point of water in Kelvin scale is equal to 373 Kelvin and melting point is 273 Kelvin. And in Fahrenheit scale, the boiling point of water is 212 degree Fahrenheit and melting point is 32 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, so now there is a how we will convert. If temperature is given in Celsius scale, then how it is converted into Kelvin scale, or how it can be converted into Fahrenheit scale. So there is an important formula how temperature is converted from one unit to another. So when we will convert temperature from one scale to another, this expression must be kept in mind. So here scale in any unit, whether it is centigrade or Fahrenheit or Kelvin, so this is the scale in that particular unit, minus melting point of the water in that particular unit by boiling point of that water in that particular scale minus melting point of water in that particular scale will always remain constant. That implies, suppose we will take scale in Fahrenheit. So I will write F Fahrenheit scale minus melting point of the water in Fahrenheit scale. I told melting point is 32 divided by boiling point of water in same Fahrenheit scale. We know it is 212 minus melting point of that water in this Fahrenheit scale is equal to 32. So this will remain constant, or this will remain same in case of Kelvin scale also. So for Kelvin we will write, in case of scale I will write Kelvin scale minus what is the melting point of water in Kelvin scale, it is 273 divided by boiling point of water in Kelvin scale is 373 minus melting point is equal to 273 divided by, if I will take degree centigrade scale, so in place of scale I will write C minus melting point of water is 0 degree centigrade and boiling point of water is 100 degree centigrade minus melting point is in water in centigrade scale is equal to 0. So these things will remain constant. So that implied F minus 32 divided by, if we will subtract this, it will be 180 is equal to K minus 273 divided by 373 minus 273 is equal to 100 is equal to C by 100. Okay, so you have to remember this formula. When you will convert from one scale to another, you have to keep this formula in your mind. Okay, so that implied if we will reduce this. Okay, so let us find the relation between Fahrenheit scale and degree centigrade scale. So here F minus 32 divided by 180 is equal to C by 100. That implied F minus 32 is equal to 180 by 100 into C. So that implied F minus 32 is equal to 180 by C. If we will reduce, it is 9 by 5 C. That implied F is equal to 32 plus 9 by 5 C. So this is very important formula when you will convert Fahrenheit to centigrade or centigrade to Fahrenheit. Okay. Next, relation between degree centigrade and Kelvin. Relation between degree centigrade and Kelvin. Now see here K minus 273 divided by 100 is equal to C by 100. C by 100. So 100 cancel. So K minus 273 is equal to C, or I can say C is equal to K minus 273. So if Kelvin scale unit is given, magnitude is given, just subtract 273, you will get in degree centigrade. Or K is equal to C plus 273. K is equal to C plus 273. If degree centigrade value is given, just add 273, you will get in Kelvin scale. Okay, so we will solve some problem relating to this. So let us solve this question number 1 and question number 2 of NCERT book. First is convert following temperature to Celsius scale. So first bit solution number, question number 1 solution, first bit, in the Kelvin scale it is given 293. Okay, so we have to find what is the value in degree centigrade. So we know degree centigrade is nothing but Kelvin scale minus 273. So here what is the temperature of the body in Kelvin scale? It is 293 minus 273 is equal to 20 degree centigrade. So we can say 293 Kelvin is equal to 20 degree centigrade. Solution, second bit solution. So here the temperature of the body is given 470 Kelvin. 470 Kelvin. So what is the temperature in degree centigrade? So it is K minus 273. So which is equal to that is equal to Kelvin is given 470 minus 273. So if we subtract, then it is what? 470 minus 273 is equal to 197 degree centigrade. Okay, so we can say 470 Kelvin is equal to 197 degree centigrade. Clear? So now question number 2 solution. So here convert following temperature to Kelvin scale. That means temperature in degree centigrade is given 25. Then what is in Kelvin scale? So we know Kelvin is nothing but C plus 273. So that is equal to K is equal to C is given 25 plus 273 is equal to 298 Kelvin. So 25 degree centigrade is nothing but 298 Kelvin. Similarly, we can solve this 373 degree centigrade is how much? So 373 degree centigrade is nothing but 373 plus 273. You add this, you will get 646 Kelvin. Okay, so this is the solution of question number 2. So let us solve this problem. If temperature of a body is same in both Fahrenheit as well as Celsius scale, what is their temperature? That means suppose this is a body, this body temperature is say T, the body temperature is say T. So in Fahrenheit scale it is say F, in the centigrade scale it is say C, and both are same. So if so, then what is the temperature of the body? So let temperature of body is equal to, in Fahrenheit it is say x degree Fahrenheit, and which is also equal to same x degree centigrade. So in centigrade scale and Fahrenheit scale, both magnitude of the temperature of the body are same. Let us say x. Then what is the value of this x? Okay, so now you see, we know F is equal to, what is the relation between Fahrenheit and centigrade scale? So F is equal to 9 by 5C plus 32. So here F is equal to x and C is also x. So now you solve this. C is equal to x. Now you solve this. So x is equal to 9x plus 5 into 32 is equal to 160 divided by 5. So that implied 5x is equal to 9x plus 160. So 9x minus 5x is equal to 4x is equal to minus 160. So x is equal to minus 40. So temperature of the body is minus 40 degree Fahrenheit as well as it is equal to minus 40 degree centigrade. So next problem, this is very important problem. If temperature of two bodies are 60 degree centigrade and 55 degree centigrade, find the difference in temperature in Kelvin scale, Celsius scale and Fahrenheit scale. So here the temperature of the body is given 60 degree centigrade and 55 degree centigrade in which scale? Celsius scale. So we have to find the difference in the temperature of these two bodies in Celsius scale, Fahrenheit scale and Kelvin scale. So first you find what is the difference in temperature in Celsius scale. So here T1 minus T2. So T1 is equal to 60 minus 55, which is equal to 5 degree centigrade. So difference in temperature in Celsius scale is 5 degree centigrade. Now what will be the difference in temperature in Kelvin scale? So here T1 is given 60 degree centigrade. If we will convert into Kelvin, just add 273. So if we will add 273, so what is the value? 333 Kelvin. And what is the temperature of the second body? 55 degree centigrade, which is nothing but 55 plus 273. Just calculate this, you will get 328 Kelvin. Now, what is the change in temperature? Delta T. Delta T is change in temperature which is equal to T1 minus T2, which is equal to 333 Kelvin minus 328 Kelvin, which is equal to 5 Kelvin. Now, in Fahrenheit scale, what is the change in temperature? You see, in Fahrenheit scale, what is the change in temperature? Now you see, T1 is given 60 degrees centigrade. Now we will convert into Fahrenheit scale. So what is the temperature in Fahrenheit scale? So we know what is the relation between Fahrenheit and centigrade scale. Fahrenheit scale temperature is F is equal to 9 by 5 C plus 32. Okay, so here T1 is equal to 9 by 5 C. C is nothing but 60 plus 32. Just calculate, it is 140 degree Fahrenheit. And what is the temperature in temperature that is 55 degree centigrade is how much Fahrenheit. So again we will calculate T2 is equal to 9 by 5 C. C is equal to 55 plus 32. So if we calculate, it will give 131 degree Fahrenheit. So what is the change in temperature in Fahrenheit scale? 140 minus 131, which is equal to 9 degree Fahrenheit. Okay. So what is the conclusion you see? What is the conclusion? In degree centigrade scale, the change in temperature magnitude is 5. In Kelvin scale, the change in temperature magnitude is also 5. That is, change in temperature in centigrade scale and Kelvin scale both are same. But here, change in temperature of the two same body is in Fahrenheit scale is 9. Okay, so we can say the change in temperature in degree centigrade scale is always equal to change in temperature in Kelvin scale. Okay, so with this we will stop this lecture. So if you have not subscribed till yet, so please subscribe, like it and share it. So okay, thank you.